Hello viewers and welcome to a f***ing ranking video. That's right, I'm going to be ranking every track on the Risk of Rain 2 soundtrack from worst to best. I'm pretty sure nobody else has done this before, so I might as well be the first. Just to be clear, I don't hate any of the songs from this game, there are just some that I prefer over others. I will be including the Survivors of the Void tracks as well, so if you don't want any spoilers, console players, then I would suggest skipping those. Without wasting any time, let's get into this. Taking home the Participation Award is Petrichor 5. This song isn't really a song, it's more of an ambient piece. It's a good ambient piece, just not something I'd listen to. I always skip this one when it comes on, and I felt like it made the most sense to put in the back of the line. Now, on to the next one. Prelude is a good song, just not an original one. For those of you unaware, this is pretty much just a piano synth cover of Prelude in D-flat major, or Raindrop Prelude by Frédéric Chopin. It's a pretty song, but I felt like it made sense to put it at the back since it's not actually a Risk of Rain 2 song. Coming in at butt naked third to last place is Lachrymosum. This song plays during the ending cutscene if you manage to escape the planet alive. While this piece is nice to listen to, the album version comes with 1 full minute of falling rain. That's almost half the song. Why did he put that there? I have to skip past it every time I want to hear the actual music. Also, the pause between the first part and the quote-unquote beat drop part is a tad bit too long. Other than that, this song is kind of a toned-down version of Con Latitud Poderosa with different instruments. If it weren't for the rain bit at the beginning, I would rank it higher. Taking 26th place on our list is Through a Cloud Darkly. This song is ominous. I mean, just listen to that deep synth. So spooky. Other than that, the song isn't really that fun to listen to. It doesn't help that I have to hear the first 5 seconds of it every time I boot up the game. It's just kind of there to invoke a feeling of unease as you watch the opening cutscene of the game. At number 25, we have Piranha. This song's alright. It's nice background music when I'm in the Lunar Shop, but I usually skip it when it comes on the playlist. It's also kind of weird to hear this song without the nuke going over it. Not much else to say. It's alright, but not alright enough. Taking home the cardboard trophy at 24 is Thermodynamic Equilibrium. My god, that's a mouthful. I think I just grew another pair of glasses reading that. Anyways, this song's okay. It's kind of forgettable, but alright. It gives off Stereo Madness vibes. I bet I gave some of you flashbacks when I said that. I don't dislike it, some parts of the song I actually really like. It's just not one that I usually think about when I think of Risk of Rain 2 soundtrack. Coming in at 23rd place is Out of Whom's Womb Came the Ice. I feel bad for putting this song so high on the list because apparently it's one of the composer's favorite songs he's made. I don't know why, but I always found the song to be a bit boring. Also, the Blind Pest sort of ruined it for me. However, I do really like the latter half of the song. It borrowed a riff from Pig's 3 Different Ones by Pink Floyd, which is cool. It's not my favorite, but it's certainly not bad. The title screen music for the game. This is a pretty good main theme of Risk of Rain 2. Fancy synths are very prominent here. Sadly, it only plays on the actual title screen. The logbook and character selection screens both play a dehydrated version of this song, which comes next on the list. I personally prefer this version of the song to the original. It's nice background music for when I'm reading the logbook entries. The slightly more calm tone really bumps this one up just a space higher than its normal counterpart. Coming in at good old 20th place is Evapotranspiration. Who the hell is inventing these words? This is the song that plays on everyone's favorite, least favorite level of Distant Roost. The song really captures the intense feeling of being trapped in I want to say zoo enclosure. The beat drop especially kicks in the nostalgia from back when I first played this game in early access. It's an okay song, but usually a skipper. I didn't like this one at first, but then it grew on me. One of my friends said it sounded like something out of Stranger Things, which makes a lot of sense. This one really nailed the spacey synth sound that a lot of the other songs are going for. I particularly like the part near the end where it plays a slightly altered version of the opening synth. I don't remember this one playing in game, and it really hit me in the feels. At number 18 is Nocturnal Emission. which is exactly what I have listening to this song. This is a very interesting track. It starts off kind of ambient and slowly builds. What I like about the beat drop is that the song slowly dies out before it happens, which makes it sound like it's about to end. This really caught me off guard the first time I heard it. After that comes the absolute banger of a synth solo that hits hard every time I hear it in game. At number 17, and the first boss theme on the list, is Hydrophobia. For some reason I never really acknowledged the song's existence until I checked the OST album for the first time. Then I was like, oh yeah, that's the song that's always playing right before I f***ing die. I love this song so much. The chaotic energy it exudes is unparalleled by most other tracks played at this stage of the game. It's got the energy of an earthworm that took 80 grams of speed, which is, I'm pretty sure, is one of the bosses in game. I just can't help but air guitar to this whenever I hear it. My only complaint is that it's a bit too short. I wish there was more of it to listen to, especially that melodic bit that plays toward the end. As much as I love this song, I prefer the other boss themes so much more. Coming in at Please Come with Shorter Titles place is A Glacier Eventually Farts, or as I call it, the one with Herzog in it. You heard that right, f***ing Werner Herzog is in this song.
Try to look a chicken in the eye with great intensity.
It starts off as a slow, almost lo-fi-esque beat that builds upon itself. Yeah, I know building upon itself is what half the other songs on here do, but I always notice it best here. Then some German dude starts talking about nature or something. This happens a few times in the song. Then the beat drops in, blah blah, you get it. I'm kinda glad they cut the Herzog bits out of the game because it would've scared the living shitlights out of me to hear actual dialogue in Risk of Rain 2. Right dead in the middle of the list is Who Can Fathom the Soundless Depths. I thought I told him to make shorter titles. Much like Prelude, this is also a cover of Raindrop Prelude. However, what makes the song different is that it's actually its own song. Instead of being played on a piano, this one has a full synth, drum, and guitar action going on. Think of it as that one metal remix of Carol of the Bells, but with Raindrop Prelude instead. There's also the fact that the instrument choices on this are amazing. I didn't even know this was a cover until I saw Chopin in the credits. This song in particular reminds me of the Edge soundtrack, which really brought me back. It even has a piano bit at the end, just to add icing on this sulfur-flavored cake. At number 14, we have Terra Pluvium. Not many of the songs in this game are themed after the levels they play in, but this one sure as hell is. Just listening to it, it's pretty easy to tell that it plays in the desert level, judging by all the sharps. It also plays in the cave level too for some reason. What's up with that? Why can't Abyssal Depths get its own theme song? Ignoring that, this song is an absolute banger. The two guitar parts are sick, and the outro is surprisingly harmonious. That outro is a remix of Mission to the Asteroid from the 1995 game The Dig. That's an oddly obscure and oddly specific homage, but it sounds good, so I'm not complaining. Bada bing, bada boom, number 13 is Having Fallen to His Blood. Don't make fun of me, but I always thought the intro for this song kinda sounded like the intro for Stress from Friday Night Funkin'. This one certainly takes a trophy for biggest earworm. That little da-na-na-na-na-na that goes out throughout the whole song keeps getting stuck in my head. The guitar bit at the end is also pretty sick. I even learned how to play it on my acoustic guitar. Why'd I put that in the script? I don't know how to play this song. The song is catchy, energetic, and sounds amazing in my Raycon earbuds. Also, the main leitmotif in this song sounds an awful lot like a shitty beat I made way back in 2020. Yeah, I wasn't quite as good of a composer back then. Coming in at Holy Crabgrass Place is Antarctic Oscillation. My god, this is certainly a song. It starts off as a faster-paced remix of Arctic Oscillation from Risk of Rain Classic, but quickly jumps into something much more. It feels like an Animals as Leaders cover of something from Final Fantasy. I love the little main chorus the song has that pops up every now and then. I also love that guitar shred bit that goes on for like 20 seconds straight. Overall, an epic song. My 11th favorite song from the soundtrack is A Boat Made from a Sheet of Newspaper. Where is he coming up with these titles? Oh, that's where. Anywho, this song is batshit crazy. When I first heard this, I thought it kind of sounded like something straight out of Bastion. It went on with this one riff for about half the song. Then one of the weirdest synth solos I've ever heard blade directly into my ear holes. There are no words to describe this lead, you just have to experience it yourself. It's constantly shifting from sounding like a synth to an electric guitar to a man being torched on an electric chair with a vocoder applied. I have no fucking clue how this synth was even conceived. I don't think I want to know, but at least it's catchy. Making the top of the top 10 is Into the Doldrums. I keep getting this song confused with Distrometer for some reason. This beat hits me right in the heartstrings, mainly due to how nostalgic it is. Rally Point Delta was the map I remember the best from my first run of the game. I remember constantly having trouble finding where the teleporter was. Ah, those were the days. It doesn't help that the song is incredibly emotional. In the game, you basically just pulled up to an abandoned survivor camp. Everyone there is dead because you took too long to get there. So it makes sense that a more melancholy song plays there. I think this is a millionth time I've said this today, but the guitar bit at the end was phenomenal. That's also apparently the composer's second favorite song from the game. Makes sense. Taking the 9 spot on the list is Copen as fuck. Fun fact, the absolute geniuses at YouTube age restricted this song because the title had the word fuck in it. Isn't that just delightful? This song takes the cake for best teleporter boss song. The guitar solo in the latter half of the song is an absolute banger. It's a shame that I rarely ever get to hear it in game because of how fast I beat the teleporters at that phase. The main melody the song follows sounds so much like an actual metal song, I can imagine a middle-aged man screaming about tax fraud over it. Surely an epic piece of music. Coming in at 8th place, we have Placid Island of Ignorance. This song is absolutely awesome and really fitting for a map that's basically an endless hell. It starts out with some spooky synths that really set the mood. Then some drum lines and bass lines are introduced that really complete the beat. Once that's all said and done, the song introduces one of the coolest synth solos I've ever heard. Honestly, how did this guy manage to come up with so many consistently catchy tunes? The constant offbeat and alien nature of the song really makes it stand out from the rest. Taking 7th place for Best Song and 1st place for Best Song Title is You're Gonna Need a Bigger Ukulele. Being the final boss theme of the base game, the song is naturally epic. I'm not sure what kind of amp is being used on the guitar that goes da-na-na-na, but I love it. The song also samples and reuses a few songs from Risk of Rain Classic. The melody heard in between the booming guitar parts is from Double F***ing Rainbow, which won 2nd place for Best Song Title. And then there's one part in the middle where it goes from heavy metal to trap in the blink of an ear. The trap bit is an edited version of Precipitation from Risk of Rain Classic. Then it combines the two genres. Trap metal is not something I knew I needed in life, but here it is. Coming in at 6th place is The Face of the Deep. Just when I thought ukulele was the epicest boss fight music in the game, Chris Dungan and one-upped it. The song starts off sounding like something straight out of Doom Eternal, then it gets a fucking sax solo. Out of all the game soundtracks I've listened to, Risk of Rain 2 is definitely not one that I would expect to have a sax solo. Yet somehow they pulled it off. Demetrius Takis, the sax player, absolutely killed it. And by it, I mean the saxophone, because that thing is probably broken after this performance. The song also brings back the insane lead from A Boat Made from a Sheet of Newspaper, which is nice. I also really like the bit that goes da-da-da. The script just says da-da-da-da. I don't really know what sound to make here. Overall, the song is pure chaos, and I love it. On a completely different note, Once in a Lullaby takes 5th place on the rankings. This song has the most collaborators out of any song from the game. It features Christos Taigas Razakov on the oboe and Calliope Metropoulou on the violin. I probably butchered 100% of that. The song is very tranquil and uplifting compared to pretty much everything else in this album. The choice of classical instruments here actually works really well. As always, the guitar bit at the end was nice. Overall, good music for a stupid fucking level. Making 4th place on the list is They Might As Well Be Dead. This song plays exclusively in Sundered Grove, however it was only added in the Survivors of Void update. Since this song replaced Nocturnal Emission, I've enjoyed playing on that level a lot more. You know, you've done a good job of composing when one of your songs makes the players like the game more. The opening of this song feels like the ambient music they played at the zoo. It slowly becomes more guitar-y until it builds up to one of the best guitar solos in the entire series. This song took me completely by surprise when I first heard it. I've never heard a song go from so meditative to pure testosterone so fast. Taking home the bronze trophy is ... Con Lentitude Poderosa. This song makes me f***ing feel things. Fans of Risk of Rain Classic had begged for Coalescence too, and this is what we got in return. What starts off as a sad piano piece transitions into an epic Paolo ballad that sounds like something straight out of a Disney movie. If they ever make a Risk of Rain movie, I want there to be a musical number where Mithrix sings over this. The song especially hit hard in the earlier versions of the game where commencement was just a long walk. Hearing this while walking down a long pathway to the final boss just makes the song all the more empowering. Taking home the silver trophy is the raindrop that fell to the sky. I somehow never knew this song existed until recently. After discovering the song, I instantly regret not listening to it. This is also the longest track in the entire game, with a full album version being 11 minutes and 26 seconds long. Damn, that's a fat-ass track. The song is absolutely beautiful. It starts out as a bright and almost uplifting synth piece with some kind of guitar playing in the background. However, as it progresses, the song starts to sound increasingly devoid of hope. Towards the end, a depressing chorus of synths plays out, a sadder version of the melody from the beginning. This song closes out with a bunch of guitars playing the same sad tune that's been in the background of the song the whole time, as it slowly fades to nothingness. Wow, that hits hard. The song structure feels like it's meant to symbolize death, which would fit well with the map it plays in since it technically is a ship graveyard. Whatever the case may be, this song is very emotional, and I highly recommend listening to it. And finally, the number one song from the Risk of Rain 2 OST. I'm sure anyone who's played the game before knows what goes here. Obviously, the number one spot goes to Megalovania. The actual number one spot on the list goes to the rain formerly known as Purple. What started out as a cover of Sean Sunday Atome from Risk of Rain Classic turned into something way bigger. And my oh my, this is one pack a punch. It's not quite as emotional as the raindrop that fell to the sky, and yeah, looking at the name of the song, it is a Purple Rain homage. However, it is still good enough to earn a gold medal. The song starts out like any other Risk of Rain 2 song, with the synth leads and occasional Risk of Rain Classic sample. Then the song dies down for a moment. After that, the beat picks up and we get a sick guitar solo. That sick guitar solo is then followed by a remaster of an even sicker guitar solo from Prince's Purple Rain. Honestly, this is where the song peaked. Even though this part wasn't technically written by Chris, it was still slightly tweaked. On top of that, the instrument choices were amazing. The electric guitar playing along with the synth, and all the other quieter electric guitars playing in the background is just perfect. The song was so good that I did a cover of it, and I don't usually cover music this long, but I made an exception for this one. I don't mean to be self-promoting or anything, but I just wanted to mention it. Overall, I absolutely adore this song. And the guitar bit at the end was pretty cool. I'm not doing this anymore.